So now that we understand why the system fears activists more than it does gamers, the next question, which is by far the most interesting question that we're about to dive into, is can that power dynamic be flipped? Or are gamers just doomed to be on the losing side? Can gamers actually ever become scary again? Because honestly, right now, gamers are like a million different snipers, but firing in random directions. They're firing all over the place. They're not coordinated, they're not calculating. They don't move as a unit. Meanwhile, our activist counterparts, they don't have better aim necessarily. They just fire in unison at the same target. Their outrage moves like laser beams on a single target, and ours is just fireworks. It's all over the place. And the unfortunate thing is, in the corporate world, fireworks don't trigger alarms. Lasers do. So here's step one in how gamers can actually flip the power dynamic back in their favor. Number one, you need to understand the battlefield. Now, what does that mean? You see, our activist counterparts, they speak the language of risk. Gamers speak the language of anger, frustration, and I don't need to tell you which one the boardroom actually gets to listen to, or which voice they pay the most attention to. Why is that? Because a gamer says, this game sucks. I demand a refund. That's how a gamer complains. When a manager hears that, he thinks, nah, just temporary noise. No systemic risk here. Moving along, but when an activist says, this company is sexist, this company is racist, discriminatory, unsafe for women, the managers hear reputational contagion, possible stock impact, fire someone now. So it's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about who best speaks the dialect of danger. Step two, gamers need to learn how to speak their language if they actually want to win. So instead of shouting louder, we speak smarter. Instead of, this game is trash, this game is woke, this game sucks, say, this product damages consumer trust in your brand. Say your risk management strategy is prioritizing short-term signaling over long-term loyalty. You see how different that sounds? You see how professional that sounds? You see how more powerful that sounds? Because the thing that we seem to forget is we are shareholders. You do realize that you're a shareholder, right? Don't you think it's about time that you started looking the part? Speaking the part? Don't talk like a customer. Talk like a shareholder. And shareholders scare the pants off CEOs and managers, not customers. Step 3, understand the weak spots. Remember how we talked about how managers serve 4 gods? Profit, shareholders, reputation, job security. But above all of them stands risk perception. So here's the thing. You don't need to attack or to destroy their profits. You just need to raise their perceived risk. And that's the thing that activists have mastered. They learn how to turn moral panic into market panic. Gamers need to learn that art. Create moments that feel radioactive, not childish. Document failures. Visualize wasted budgets. Quantify how woke designs, decisions damage engagement metrics. Then simply distribute it like a corporate radiation, not rage. And then step 4 would say, pick your battles wisely. Pick battles that bleed. Don't chase every controversy. One bullet to the head is way scarier than 1,000 mosquito bites. Don't shotgun controversies. The problem with us gamers is that, especially the anti-woke channels, which I am a part of, is that we shotgun controversies. In a week, we will talk about 10 different controversies. Ghost of Yotei did this. Dragon Age Veilguard did that. Assassin's Creed Shadows, GTA 6, up and above and below we go. Do you know what that registers as to managers? It's white noise. Don't pay attention to it, it's just toxic gamers. It'll blow over. However, if we were to target precisely, only then would you actually start to look like a threat. So we need to look closer, find the chink in the armor, look for the cracks. Like for example, when an Insomniac director or marketing director tweets a clown emoji at gamers, don't clap back at them. Clip that snippet, archive it, then pair it with their falling player retention rate. or review averages. And frame it like this: Insomniac's public communication strategy may be alienating its most loyal paying base, potentially undermining long-term brand equity. And just like that, I'd say congratulations. You might as well just pat yourself on the back, because you just turned frustration and anger into a risk report. That's the future of gaming activism. That's what we call the corporate sword. And then the fifth and final step would be something like the end game. I know it's kind of corny because, Avengers Endgame and stuff, but stick with me. The end game. As gamers, we can fight back, but the way we go about it is not as gamers. The way we go about it is as auditors, as shareholders, as analysts, as the resistance that is hidden within every spreadsheet. Every time you speak their language, they are losing their translator. Every time you frame outrage as a risk memo, you make them sweat, because once you enter their world, you become their reflection. And nothing, I mean nothing, terrifies a CEO or a manager more than a crowd holding up their own reflection right back at them. So I'd say the next time they clown you, just remember that they don't fear your rage. They fear your fluency. It's important that as gamers, we also become organized. Like, for example, I made a video a while back. It was a compilation of all the problematic things about Spider-Man 2. So what you could potentially do is just copy the link of that video, and then maybe you will link it to the tweet as a reply to the tweet that was made by Insomniac clowning gamers. First, you write it, of course, in their corporate lingo, and then attach the link. And then you go a step further and you tag the heads at Sony. Tag the heads at Sony, you tag the heads at Insomniac. Then you ask a question. Care to comment? If gamers, most of us, if we were to adopt this strategy, adopt this lingo, even though the press is mostly left-leaning, the important thing is when they quote you, they will quote your words directly. Brand risk failure, brand equity corrosion. Those are the words that they will actually be quoting. And when they do that, they echo our voices even louder. So instead of them quoting you or quoting us saying, this game is trash, it's woke, don't buy it. And when that reaches the CEO's ears, they just see toxic gamer, ignore. But now they're going to quote you saying brand equity failure. That's how we get to move the needle. So you need to learn their language, wield their weapons, and soon enough, there's no way you'll be ignored. Because essentially, if risk is what they worship, then we've not only discovered, but we have learned how to trigger it. And then the natural follow-up question would be, who decides what's risky in the first place? Who programs the risk radar? And others.